if you want more, let them know. I mean, there's always a possibility. I mean, Disney Plus is a plethora of entertainment, and we're getting a tremendous amount of fun stuff from Disney Plus. So let them know, if the interest is there, there's no reason they may not reverse course, and we may get another final season, and then another final season after that. Yeah. Bring it on. I can do this. I can take more. So yeah, let's do it. See what happens, and I mean, just sit back and enjoy the show. Clone Wars is a great thing. It's a great show, and I'm going to pop one question on you, David, and on you, Adam, that I did not put in the show notes or anything like that. It's something that just kind of came to me while we were talking today. What would you tell somebody who has never seen the Clone Wars, who is trying to decide whether or not they should spend the time to watch the Clone Wars? What would you tell them to convince them to do it? David?
Okay, all right. No, I was going to see if Adam wanted to. I think the thing would be, again, I'll go back to what I was reading last night by Joseph Campbell and Bill Moyers asking him so many questions. Bill Moyers was so prepared in those interviews. And he talks about, why is story so important? And it's just so important to us. Myths and stories and the way that they affect us. And, to steal a word from, I steal a lot of words from Dan Z on Coffee with Kenobi. Poignant is one of them. Another one is pathos, and I would encourage people to watch this to see what, Adam and you and I were talking about tonight, which is this story, this mythology behind the hero's journey, behind the fall of Anakin. Another major mythological construct is the fall. And to really see it play out. And I think, we could encourage people to watch all 133 episodes, but I think, the three of us could give a pretty good list of ones to watch to really help any new viewer be like, oh, okay, I get this. Episode 1, episode 2. Okay, here's the Clone Wars. And then, here's Anakin, and he's in a vulnerable position here as we start episode 3. So I think maybe the argument, for me at least, would be to just really get a really rich mythological story, and stories are just great to dive into.
Very good, very good. Adam, what would you tell somebody to try to convince them to watch the Clone Wars?
It's simple. I just tell them it's the next best thing after the original trilogy. If they like that, they're going to love the Clone Wars. So, I like it better than anything else that has been made in Star Wars.
Wow. Nice and simple. Well said. Well said. Well said. As for me, it'd be one of those things where I would just honestly look at him and say, you will never fully understand the movies, especially the prequels, unless you've watched this. You can watch them without it, but to truly understand what you've watch these episodes. It would definitely be worth the time. So, excellent. Perfect. First, we want to know what everybody else thinks of the Clone Wars. Feel free to share your thoughts with us. You can do that, of course, through any of our social medias. On Facebook, you can find us Star Wars Reactions. On Twitter, SW Reactions Pod, and of course Instagram, SW Reactions. Or you can just email us your reactions to the Clone Wars simply by emailing us show@StarWarsReactions.com. Adam, my friend, thank you for joining us for this discussion. I know you have a whole world collection of books out there, Star Wars, Marvel, the whole nine yards. Um, I know anything new coming out, anything that you want to promote while you're here that may be out or coming out that you want to mention?
Sure. There's nothing new coming that I can discuss yet. But my latest Ultimate Star Wars is out. Amazon is currently selling it for just $16.
Nice.
Or you can order it directly from me, and I'll guarantee I'll pick you out a nice unscathed copy. And get it author signed with some free swag while my supplies last. But I've got Ultimate Star Wars, the new edition. It includes The Rise of Skywalker and all 6 seasons of Clone Wars. Doesn't have the new season in it. And it's got all the seasons of Star Wars Rebels and also Resistance as well. So it's fairly up to date. I've got the new edition of the DK's Marvel Encyclopedia as well, focusing on the Marvel comics that just came out this last summer. So yeah, still got some new books still in stores.
Excellent. Perfect. So definitely go check those out, and check him out. All his books, they're great books. I got several of them sitting on my shelf right now. The Rebels visual guide, it was definitely one of my favorites. I got the first edition of the Ultimate Star Wars book too. I got picked that up actually during Star Wars weekends, and have that. So there's a lot of great books that Adam has written that are full of information and knowledge. Probably one of my favorites, though, as much as I love the Rebels one, my favorites is probably the Stormtrooper book, Beyond the Armor. Love that. Oh, that was incredible. Great job on that. So definitely check that out. If anybody listening wants to chat with you or talk Star Wars, is there a way that they're able to do that?
Yeah, I am on Twitter and Facebook and newly on Instagram as well. And I believe my address or handle on all 3 is at author Adam Bray.
Excellent. And we will definitely throw those links in the show notes. So if you want to talk to Adam and get to know him and his work, it's a great place to start. So we'll definitely do that. David, of course, if they want to talk Star Wars with you, how would they go about following up with you there?
Oh, definitely. It's been the same on Twitter at David_Motters. And, of course, the email is david@StarWarsReactions.com. And can I throw in a trivia right now that involves Adam? Because I want to brag on him a bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead. I forgot about our Star Wars trivia. So.
Oh my gosh, I'm not. Adam is, we just got done talking about these voice actors and what quality people they are. Well, all of you have listened to this podcast have heard Adam talking about Celebration, which I believe was 2012, because that would have been the 2012-2013 season 5 that he was talking about. But I got the privilege of meeting Adam in 2017, and it was a Wednesday night, I remember, because, Aaron, you weren't able to get over yet. I had taken off a half day on Wednesday, and I went down to an actual podcast, a get-together. It was for RFR. And I remember being in there, and Adam walked in, and I saw him. He didn't know me at all, but I knew who he was and all the work he had done. So I rush over to him. Adam, you were such a good sport, and I've talked about this on Twitter before. Just Adam was so nice and was talking to me. In fact, even sat down and had dinner, and I happened to have the visual encyclopedia on me, and he signed that for me. And I'm looking over now at the visual guide. I'm looking at Stormtroopers. I'm looking at Ultimate Star Wars, and just have a lot of his work. But Adam's another one of those persons in Star Wars who is genuinely nice. And for someone who came up to him and just kind of bum rushed him, you were so patient, so nice, and it was so enjoyable to just sit and talk Star Wars with you. So I wanted to make sure I said that on our podcast. The trivia question, if you remember at the beginning of this episode, Aaron had mentioned that Adam had done a lot, not just Star Wars, but the Marvel stuff. But I wanted to check with Adam before we did this podcast, and I wanted to get from him what was the number of Star Wars books he's worked on to this point, May 2020. He sent me the answer, and so I have it. And so what you need to do if you're listening is to DM us, at our Twitter handle, and Aaron will get that. And what I've put together is a little prize pack for the person who can answer correctly. Typically, what we have to do is just put the person's names in a hat, and then Aaron will pick them out. But Adam, will you give clarification to what you had responded? And I thought it was really good because you said you gave me the number and you said, listen, it's not just the first run of them, but like you mentioned, the second edition of Ultimate Star Wars, because you said sometimes the work is the same or more than when you're doing the original version. So will you kind of share that clarification, and then we'll see how good people do at guessing?
Right, yeah, exactly. Usually when I tally how many books I've done, the same is true for my travel guides as well that I did before Star Wars. Is when I tally them, I will include subsequent editions as a separate, unique book, because as you said, often the new editions take just as much work to complete as the original one did. So I consider them, in my mind, separate books. So, Ultimate Star Wars, that's 2 editions, so that's 2 books in the tally, and Star Wars, Absolutely Everything You Need to Know, that's 2 editions, so I'd consider that 2 books as well.
All right. So if people want to send answers in, please do it, and we'll do the drawing. And what I'll do is take some pictures of the prizes that I've pulled together. In fact, I was looking at another one to add in. So I've got quite a bit, and I'll send you, let's just say, a big box of stuff if you get the answer correct.
Perfect. Sounds like fun.
Oh, I should further qualify that actually, though, because now you got me thinking. There are retailer exclusive repackagings of some of my books, especially like Costco and Sam's, and there are overseas and foreign language editions, and I am not including those in the tally because I don't even know how many there are of those, because I don't always get sent copies of those. So yeah, I'm only including books in this tally that actually have new content between the covers, new content that I have written.
Nice.
Perfect. Here you go, folks. It's a giveaway time, so make sure you get those votes in. You can direct message us at the addresses I gave you earlier. deadline, David? Do you have a deadline in mind?
What's today? We're recording this on the 12th.
Yes.
How about by